I'm going to be ranking all of the NHL logos for every team, and I think this is the most up to date list. I don't think any teams changed their logo drastically in the past 2 years, so let's get into it. Now, the Ducks D I know gets a lot of hate, and obviously it's not as good as the Mighty Duck logo, but I still don't hate it. I think it's a C tier logo. I think it's clever using the flipper with the D. Um, and I think it does actually have a solid look for as much hate as it gets. The Coyotes I'm gonna put in B tier. It's not my favorite logo, but I still think it's a very solid logo and I do like it. It's very different from a lot of teams, so I do appreciate that from the Coyotes taking a different route. Next up, we have the Boston Bruins B, and a lot of people. I'm just ranking these logos on how they look, not how historic they are or anything. So some teams that have good logos, even though it's just because people are just like blinded because oh they're historic. The Bruins logo it's all right, but it's just a C tier. It's not an A tier like everyone talks about. So I'm gonna put it in C tier. The Sabres I think actually have a solid logo too. It's not as good as that other logo they have. That logo would go in S tier. That logo looks so good, but they're gonna go into B tier. And the Calgary Flames, I'm gonna put them into A tier. I think that the C, like it's very simple, but the C meshes so well with the flames on the back, and it just looks so good. The Carolina Hurricanes, I think, are gonna go into B tier. Um, it's a solid logo, but it's not close to being the best in the league. But I think it's still a very good logo, good color scheme. The Blackhawks logo is just kind of like it's like one of those human logos, so it's all right, but I'm just not a big fan. Um, I think we'll go C tier, but I'm not really in love with the logo or anything. I think the Avalanche logo is very good. It's kind of simple, but I think the A looks very good with how how the snow and avalanche comes around it, and the puck at the end is just like a cherry on top. So I'm gonna put it in A tier. The Blue Jackets are gonna get the D tier, maybe even F tier, but we'll leave them in D for now. It's just like it's almost like there's too much going on, and I think that that kind of hurts it. The Dallas Stars are gonna get F tier. It's like it's a D within a star, so that's fun, I guess, but it's just nothing exciting at all. The Red Wings logo is gonna get A. A lot of people will put it in S because it's historic. I might even put it down to B, but I think it's still a good logo. I think that it does look outdated, but it doesn't need a redesign just because I think it's still a good logo, even though it does look outdated. I still really like it, and I'm gonna put it in A tier. The Oilers is just Oilers. And it's kind of smudgy like oil, I guess. I'm gonna go D tier. It's just nothing exciting. The Panthers, the Roaring Panther jumping out. I like that one more than this logo. I know that there's surprisingly some people, or more people than I thought, that like this logo more. But I think that this is still a solid logo, and I think it's gonna go middle of the pack in C tier. Maybe it could. We'll put it at the top of C. Um, the Kings logo, I think it's just all right. I mean, it's just LA with a crown. It's just like it's not exciting. I think that their alternate logo looks better. That's usually on the purple jerseys, unless I'm mistaken. I might even go F. I think Columbus might go F here, and we'll see that right now. The Wild, we'll leave Columbus a D. The Wild, so it's like wild, but it's also kind of shaped like a bear. I think that's cool, but I think like if you're gonna go with like a bear thing, then make it a bear. But I still think we're just gonna look at it based off how it looks. So I'm gonna go. I think top of C or bottom of B. We'll go bottom of B. I think it's still a solid logo, even though with what I said. Um, I I think it looks good. There's not too much else to it. It is a little more complex looking. Like you've got the trees, the river, the star, the sun. but I still think it does look good, even with them doing all of that. Now, the Canadians are going to get C tier. I know it's historic, but it's just a C with an H in it. But I will say that I think it does look good for what it is. Um, like other teams, like the Kings with just the LA, but the C and the H really do blend. So this could even be bottom of B tier. I don't hate this logo at all. But we're just going to leave it there for now and we'll see later. The Predators have a very good logo. Um, I really like it. I like the saber-toothed tiger. I like how it's kind of jumping out. I think I'm oh, whoops. I think I might go S for it here. And I think that is where I'm going to go. New Jersey's up next, and I'm going to put them I think in B tier. I like how the NJ does blend well and it does kind of look like a little devil, but there's just not a whole lot to it. So I think it's fine there. I think the Islanders are gonna get C tier. It's a very solid logo, but it's just like it's nothing that gets me excited, right? It's like, and I like how the Y is a hockey stick, but it's just there's just not a lot interesting. I think that the Fisherman logo is better too, but they went a little more modern and just doesn't look that good in my opinion. The Rangers up next. It's just a shield logo, kind of like the Kings, and the Panthers have a shield logo, but at least there's more going on. Um, but that's enough said. This Senators logo is just so dull and like bland. I like that. I like their logo that I think they used around like 2016, but I I just think that this is just such a dull logo. It's just not. It's not very intimidating. It's not fierce. It's not like fun to look at. It's just like it's bland. I feel like I'm hating on it a lot, but I'm still gonna put it in D tier. I might actually go F. It's just like I don't even hate the color scheme. It's just like so like bland looking. We'll go D tier. The Flyers, even though it's just a P, I still think that it does a good job. Um, I think it can go bottom of B tier. I think that that's a good place for it. Yeah, I think that bottom of B tier works for it. I think that it just looks smooth with how the P is, and that's where it's gonna go for me. I actually do like the Sharks logo. I know it gets a little bit of flack, but I'm a fan of it. I might even go bottom of A tier. I mean, they're not an A tier team. They're terrible, but at least they have a good logo. So I think we'll go top of B for now, and we'll probably change it later. Oh no, I accidentally went back. The Pittsburgh Penguins, I do really like their logo. I think it's just kind of fun. It's like fun to look at too. Like the Senators logo is just so. I'm hating on it so much. I'm gonna have to put it into F. Like I feel like it's a D tier logo, but I'm just like absolutely ripping on it, so it just has to go to F. But like the Penguins logo, it's like it's more fun looking too. But while the Senators logo is just so like dull and bland. I guess the Penguins like it might be a little dull, but it's not bland. I think it's like more of a fun logo. I think the Kraken have a very good logo. Um, I think it just looks like so good. I think that the S, but how it's like a tentacle and like the little red eye. I really love the logo. Like it's a very simple logo, but it does a lot more than like the Jackets logo. Like the Jackets logo is very complex with a lot going on, but it just doesn't do much. While the Kraken logo, it's very simple, but it does a lot more and it looks really good. I think the Blues are gonna go into A tier. Um, Maybe even B tier, because it's kind of similar to Philadelphia's. Uh, but I think it does look better than the Flyers logo. So I'm gonna put in B tier. It might get a jump to A. We'll have to see. I think the Lightning are just gonna get like D or C. We'll go D. Um, so it's just like it's there's not a lot you can do when your team's name is the Lightning, but and when you're It's kind of like the Chargers in the NFL. How, it's a lightning bolt, but it's just like it is kind of what their name is, but it's just like it's just not very exciting. Even though lightning is like a cool name, it's just the logo is just not very good. The Maple Leafs logo, I'll put it B tier. Probably the bottom of B tier. It's like it's solid. The leaf looks very alright, and says Toronto Maple Leafs, so that's fun, I guess. Moving on to the Canucks logo, I'm actually a fan of this. I think it looks very solid. I think I'm gonna go A tier with it. Um, I think the Canucks have a very solid logo. It's kind of mean looking. See, it's got like a big, like mean looking face. But I'm gonna go A tier with it. And the Golden Knights are up next. I think I might go B tier with them. Um, Even though it's a shield logo like Florida, we'll put it right next to Florida. I think that works out very well. With it next to Florida. So they're both shield logos. I think that they both look good though. Like they're both pretty alright. So I'll go C tier with it. I think the Capitals logo is just kind of the bird logo is so much better. I think they actually have two bird logos they've used, and they both just look so much better than this one. It's gonna go D for me. I think the Jets logo is actually A tier. I think it's a very good looking logo. Um, you see, it's got the jet. It's got like a little leaf behind it. So, I think it's a good looking logo. Um, I'm gonna move maybe one or two up to S. I think the Flames can go up to S, and so can the Jets. Yeah, we'll move the Jets up to S. I think we have a lot in B tier, so we'll move the. I just don't think the Sharks have an A tier logo. I kind of want to spread this list out a little bit, but it's just like, there's a lot in B and C. We'll move the Leafs down to C. I mean, like, yeah, it's a Maple Leaf. That's cool. That's what your name is. We'll go Capitals into F. I mean, for a word logo, I think they actually did better than maybe New York. I think we'll go. Honestly, the Lightning logo is just so boring. They had the skull logo. I think they just wore it for warm ups or something, but it was so good looking. So we're gonna move the Lightning into F. Just not very exciting in my opinion. But I think this is my final ranking for this team, or not for this, for the NHL logos. I don't know what I was saying there. But this is my final rankings. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. I also posted NFL logo rankings if you guys want to check that out. But I hope to see you guys around soon.